ish.
We're a bit late today. Please forgive me. It's a story about what's local to this person, what story they think London needs to know about, and finally, something to lift Londoners' spirits. This guy's not walking. He's in a wheelchair, but he talks. He talks a lot. So we might run out of time. I'm also an Arsenal supporter, so he moans a lot as well. Adam, how are you?
Mate, when you say trends at 12-ish, you really mean it, don't you?
Listen, can I tell you the truth? I tell you the truth, right?
Go on.
We have a thing here. They're trying to bring people together at BBC Radio London.
Yeah.
So they do a collection, and once a month they have some food in the kitchen. Now, the last time they had it, when I came out, it looked like something that people had put in their mouth, chewed, and spat back out. So I asked our production team to get me a little something. And then when I've gone to you, we didn't know where you were. You were lost in the ether. So I had to play another song. So that's the truth, right? You get it? That's my Crips. You hear that?
Okay, you're putting the blame on me. That's fine.
Yeah.
Mate.
It's another song, isn't it? Hold on a minute. Let's test Ola there. Putting the blame on me. That's a song, Ola. I'm sure that's a reggae song. Putting the blame. And anyway, did you hear us talking about dying earlier on?
I did, mate.
It's morbid conversation. Have you talked about it?
Well, my father passed away actually in February, mate.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
I've actually gone through it recently, you know. So,
were you ready? Were you ready? Were things in order?
Yeah, mate. He had cancer, so I'd kind of had preliminary conversations with him. So, yeah.
It's not easy. It's not easy, is it? It's not easy having that kind of conversation.
No. It takes a big person, takes a bad man, you know, and you know that.
Yeah, but I didn't feel comfortable doing it, man. I'm like, Mum, go on a cruise, do something that old people do. I don't want your money. I'm not giving you my money. I'm going to sponsor a dog. All those kinds of weird conversations. I felt really weird. But as I say, it is the truth. It's real life. The lift's working in your block, fella.
They are finally, mate. They are, yeah. It's I've got 2 new lifts. One is fire safe. And, PEEPs, we're going to talk about that.
Well, yeah, you do. I don't want to do it in an order with you. You shout out what it is, but I'm just going to talk. Because all through last week, did 8 hours of Grenfell. My head was exploding. I spoke to parts of the BBC. And all the time, I kept on talking about, whether it was race, religion, colour type thing, but also the personal emergency evacuation plan. So, that stayed in my head. And every time I talk about it, I think of my mate. And then when I said I wanted you on the show, they said, we can't have it. You can't have him. He was already on the breakfast show with Salma. What's the matter with you, guy?
Mate, I could have done all day last week, mate. I had about 1,800 pages of a report to read anyway. So I was about on that Grenfell Phase 2. When Grenfell Phase 2 came out, I was about, so...
It felt like an important moment. I mean, I would say that, would I? What does Grenfell in that Phase 2, what does it mean to somebody who lives in flats, who is in a wheelchair? What does it mean to you?
It was quite difficult to listen to. I mean, like, I give you credit for being where you were and broadcasting live, and hearing the judgment was quite difficult to listen to. However, the repeat that they need to re-look into the height of the building, whether that determines if the building is safe or unsafe, and they need to look into PEEPs, was kind of something that I knew anyway, but it was refreshing to hear that it's not something that's going to get, because it felt like the previous government were kicking the ball into the long grass.
Well, how do you know this one isn't? He hasn't come out with any absolutely 100% promise. Angela Rayner comes and says, we have to expedite these changes as quickly as possible. That's what the last government said.
Yeah, They've said that residential PEEP should become a thing and they will deal with it later in the autumn. Now, we're in autumn, aren't we? So
judging by our side, it's not summer anymore, fella.
Well, say no more. So we're going to have to deal with it right now. Now, I am part of the LFB Community Forum, and I've got a meeting tomorrow night.
London Fire Brigade.
London Fire Brigade Community Forum. And I've got a meeting tomorrow night with Andy Rowe, to talk, who is the commissioner. And we're going to be talking about Grenfell Phase 2 report and what the actions are. Now,
When you talked, I don't know if you've met him before, but certainly last time I interviewed him, and it makes sense now. I've gone back and read everything. He was the guy that got there who said, it says stay in your block. No, don't do that. Get out. Everybody out. Do what we did. He's the one who changed what was happening so far as the firefighters were concerned when he got there. And if you try to talk to him about Grenfell, I think he's locked it away in a part of his head because it hurts. So when you talk to him, I think for once you're talking to a member of officialdom that actually feels it, fella.
I fully agree with you, mate. And it's not just him, it's the London Fire Brigade generally. So I'm yet to come across a firefighter who doesn't agree with PEEPs. I'm yet to come across, because the objective of a PEEP is to save someone's life in case of an emergency. Now, that is their objective in the London Fire Brigade. So we're essentially working on the same mission. It was just kind of getting the government to understand this and the landlords to understand this. And there needs to be a plan of action. Now, I'm quite hopeful that the new government are going to do something, mate. Yeah.
We'll talk to you off the back of that, Tell him I've been trying to get an interview with him. Don't avoid me like all London officials appeared. I used to be able to get everybody. Oh, no, nobody wants to come on. That's when it gets time nearly for me to go, doesn't it? Nobody wants to come on. I haven't had the mayor on it. I haven't had Transport for London. I haven't had all these people that make all these decisions for London. It's really, really important. And I hope, although my fear is, if I'm honest with you, Adam, having a conversation on the radio that we probably should have off the radio, that with the amount of money it's going to cost to make the changes that are necessary, and what we've been talking about today in Cockfosters in terms of the new developments they want to do, that it's really difficult for me to imagine this square being circled or circle being squared in the way that I don't think everybody's going to get all that they want.
You know what I'm like, yeah. So I'm quite an aggressive campaigner,
troublesome, miserable, argumentative.
But not so much miserable, mate. I try and keep it upbeat, yeah. But I'm definitely an active campaigner. So I will go to City Hall if I have to, and I will confront these politicians if need be. So now that they've said that there's going to be moves for residential PEEPs, you have to follow through. I mean, like, okay, clearly we're not doing 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, Eddie. But my third point today was to give you credit, because I believe that over the last 4 years, you and I have had so many interviews with regard to personal emergency evacuation plans. We've helped to shift perception with regard to this. And I just want to give you a big thanks. Yeah, you allowed me to...
No, I'm not taking it. No. Why, if you want to big me up and show me respect, why did you make those people on the train sing Arsenal songs to me about Man United when we were on there?
Could you deserve that, bro? Yeah, you deserve that. Listen, being a Manchester United fan at Arsenal game, yeah, you were lucky you didn't get recognised at the time.
Oh, so on the train, they started to sing to me. I was like, I'm getting off this train.
That was a great day, to be honest, mate.
Listen, we're doing our job. Our job, yours and mine, for different reasons, is to hold people to account. To go, well, you said you were going to do that. When are you going to do it? Yeah. How are you going to? That's the job. You know what I mean? I take no props for that. That's what I'm here for. No, but that is what I'm here for.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
I maybe annoyed them a little bit too much, but you know what I mean? It is important. How can you have somebody in a wheelchair in a high-rise but and have no plan for them relative to what might happen, no plan for how they escape? That's not right. I mean, you're not allowed to have an opinion here, but even the bosses here must accept that can't be right.
Yeah, so something I'm learning more and more each day is that common sense is not common. Yeah, so something that makes sense to you and I doesn't make sense to everyone. So, you kind of have to, maybe like yourself, have a friend that's in a wheelchair that lives on the 6th floor. You have to be in the situation to be like, wait there, if there's an emergency, how is Adam going to get out? Yeah,
but you talk about common sense, we talked about, all the way through COVID. It's the word I'm focusing on at the minute is empathy, kind of understanding somebody's situation, not because it doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it doesn't affect somebody else. Does that make sense?
I totally agree with you.
I don't want you to agree with me. I feel uncomfortable. Is this the Adam I know? This is somebody else.
No, I did. Well, if we're talking about empathy,
Are Arsenal going to win the Premier League?
It's the derby this weekend, mate. Yeah, so you have.
Do you go to the derby, or is it just too?
Mate,
is it too dangerous for you?
No, I would definitely be there on Sunday. Mate.
Where is it?
It's at Tottenham.
So how do you get right? Come on, let's do it then. So you're in the chair.
Yeah.
Right. How do you? What do you do? Do you go down the Seven Sisters Road? How do you do it? Where do you get off? No, do it properly.
I've made that mistake once, mate. Yeah, going down the Seven Sisters Road and getting kind of kettled by police officers, and then getting. It's not great. It's a derby, isn't it? I don't want to describe it too much, but
it's
there
horrible.
are certain
it's
words
horrible.
being thrown around, and there are kind of spitting, and there's, it's only a game of football if you think about it. But at the end of the day, it's a rivalry. This Sunday, I will go early. I'm always with my mate Steve, so we'll go down there.
Where do you get? Take me on. The reason I'm asking you is because I remember how. When I met you, we had to kind of go all the way around in order that we got pavements that were, so that the wheelchair could do it. So you get off at what station?
This weekend, I think, is Finsbury Park. So
that's a long way. You better make sure them batteries have got to be charged, fella. That's a long way down.
100%, mate. And they will be, because Finsbury Park, I think, is the closest accessible station. And then...
And then it's all the way down. That's a long way, isn't it? Good thing for you going down is it's downhill. Going towards it's downhill.
Right. Yeah, mate.
And then all the way down, to actually Seven Sisters Tube Station, then turn left, and then go up to it. But I've seen it, and it's really, really hostile. What colours are you wearing?
No. I'm definitely not wearing colours on derby weekend, mate.
Right. So you think even if you were in your wheelchair and you had your Arsenal colours on, some muppet would have a pop?
Listen, we could go back to stories that I heard years ago where a wheelchair user said to me, "I will never go to a derby ever again." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "I came out of Tottenham Stadium one time and I got punched in the face and I was told, I hope your arms don't work as well." So it is hostile, Eddie, yeah? And
let's just be careful. We are not just talking about Tottenham Football Club. We're talking about where we get into derbies and where the intensity of it, sometimes the perspective is lost.
I'm sure when they come to the Arsenal, we can be as bad. Then there's.
Yeah, when I came with you, you pretended that you couldn't see it. But so that was the one where somebody tried to punch Roy Keane, and that was the one where we walked past. Where we walked past, I say, when we went past the bus, and somebody had a pop at the Man United bus.
Well, this is
you pretended you couldn't see that. Yeah.
Okay,
there you
mate.
go.
I try and stay positive in it. I can't indulge in the negativity too much.
Did you watch the Paralympics?
I did watch some of it, yeah. But I feel like the Paralympics. I've had this conversation quite a lot this weekend. That the Paralympics is kind of an unrealistic, accessible bubble.
Explain.
Right, I would explain. That's very good, Eddie, mate. Because London is not as accessible as the Paralympics makes out, yeah? That, like, these athletes, they're amazing, and I don't discredit the sport at all and being able to do things. But I mean, like, I come across disabled people every day who have serious issues, yeah? Whether that be the infrastructure, whether that be housing, whether that be policing, hate crime. There are serious issues, and London is not 100% accessible. It's quite far away from being nearly accessible. Now, that Monday to Friday, I give my time to a company called Inclusion London. I'm the chair of Inclusion London. We have petitioned the London Mayor with a motion for a disability equality champion in London. Yeah. Now, London has a walking and cycling commissioner, a nighttime czar, who are all well paid, and the roles are specific. Now, London has 1.2 million disabled people. Yeah, so we're not like a small group. There's quite a lot of disabled people. And we've asked for a disability equality champion. The motion was passed by the London Assembly unanimously, which I think is really good, because a lot of work. Listen, mate, my time is valuable, and a lot of my time went into this, yeah? So we got the wording correct, and it was passed with hardly any pushback. But if you look at London, the societal infrastructure, housing, transport, the street space, yeah, they constantly fail to meet the needs of disabled people. Yeah, disabled people have varied needs, and London is not fully equipped, yeah? So we're asking for Sadiq to meet with us, listen to us, work with us to ensure London is an inclusive city. He keeps using the phrase of best city in the world. Now, we would love London to be the best city in the world, but we think there needs to be more co-production and genuine co-production, yeah, and not consultation for consultation's sake. Like earlier on, you were talking to someone about Cockfosters and what they're doing at Cockfosters, and asked the person if he was involved in consultation. He might have been, but has he been involved in the co-production of it? Yeah, of what's going to happen moving forward. And we're asking Sadiq Khan to work with disabled people, yeah, and make things for us. And that will possibly make London a greater city. Looking at the Paralympics, going back to what we were talking about, the Paralympics, Paris seemed to be a kind of unrealistic, accessible bubble, when really things are not made for us or fully ready for us, mate. So, yeah.
Well, when we get you to do that guest edit, we'll have to look at the little things that we could do. But certainly, I was saying before, the Metro wasn't ready. Tanny Gray Thompson was saying that the Metro wasn't really ready. But certainly, if you look at things, and I know there's lots more work to do, but the Jubilee line has really helped. Adam, look, I'm going to call you because we've got work to do. I want you to be my special guest. If they haven't invited you to make a difference, it's what we do to help make people's lives better by highlighting some of the brilliant people in our community. So on the 25th, if they haven't invited you officially, I need you to be my ride or die. So I'd love you to come. So I'll contact you and then we'll sort that out, yeah?
I respect Eddie, mate. No, thank you very much.
Clear that diary and make some space for Badman.